Um, that is a good question. For me, when I'm self-empowered, I'm not stressed out about events that I may not be able to control. So I like to think of it as things I can improve on, things I can do to make myself less stressed out, and things that I can't control. So I can study as much as I can for an exam, but the questions might be completely something we haven't talked about in class. And then so the studying is something I can control, the questions that show up is something I cannot. So by focusing my energy and knowing that I did the best I could do with the knowledge that I had makes me feel really empowered, even if the circumstances turn out unexpected and didn't do as well. Just not being stressed out about that, because that was not something I had any power over.
That's a good question. I think the one thing that I often do to feel empowered is to remind myself of the value that I have. I think for me it's very easy to lose sight of that in an era where the things on social media often tell me that my peers appear to be doing much better than I am personally, and that might not be the case. And so for me, it's a constant reminder of the value that I bring to my friends and my environment, and also checking in and appreciating me for the things that I do and for the person that I am.
I think coping with fluctuations and feelings of self-empowerment can be really challenging. I think it's recognizing that sometimes it's really hard to want to get up in the morning and tell yourself, hey, today's going to be a good day and I'm going to make it the best possible that I can. And especially when you know that you've been in situations that have been a lot easier, those fluctuations, or maybe it's feeling a bit harder, can be really hard to grapple with, because it's a moment of reflection and thinking, hey, how did I get here? Why has this changed? But I think the way that I try to cope with those fluctuations, especially in the low moments, which I think are the more challenging times, is recognizing that that lows exist and that life isn't always going to be, balloons and flowers and butterflies, and that getting out of those takes a lot of courage and takes a lot of self-empowerment, in terms of maybe just taking small steps. I think self-empowerment in a cultural setting where there's a lot of emphasis on being with someone can be really challenging for people who may not be in a romantic relationship. But at the same time, I think it's really important to recognize for myself and for everyone to continue to grapple with the idea that it's an expectation that's put on you from society, but there's no real need to be in a relationship at any particular time just because that's what seems normal or that's what seems like it's going to provide you with happiness, if maybe that's not what you need at that time. And it's also okay to not want that in the near future, or maybe just not want that for yourself, like a romantic relationship or a sexual relationship. It's whatever feels good to you. But I also recognize that sometimes it can feel really hard if maybe that's something that you want. Like, I know I've had times where I've felt like I really wanted to be in a relationship, especially around Valentine's Day when that's a time to spend time with loved ones. But I think self-empowerment in those situations is really just recognizing for me that I love myself, and I know that maybe there's things that they're challenging at that time for me, but recognizing that I'm doing the best that I can, and that I am around friends and family that love me and that I love and appreciate, and that you can spend just as much time with those people and spending really quality appreciation with them in the same way that you might with a romantic other. And I think self-empowerment is recognizing that you have those really important relationships no matter how they're constructed.